So I posted a video on legislator and how legislators or legislator is related to the word legal, and then how legal is related to legate or legend, because the Latin of legal is legalis, legal, law, lex, okay, French legal, legalis, legate, Latin, legatus, so all related to legal, legis, leg, contract law, and how the Constitution allows for the federal government to make contracts, treaties, a signed agreement, because contracts are agreements. They have rights and obligations, etc., and so forth. If you want to know about contracts, I think I have a video on contracts, and I recommend a really good book. I forget who wrote it, but it's on contract law. I think it's Richard Younger, contract law. Agreements between nations, agreement, a treaty. And so treaties, which the federal government is allowed to do for the states collectively, and the federal government is limited to federal lands. Treaties are contracts. Contracts are legal. They're supposed to conform to the natural law. And that makes them good law. Something I didn't mention in my previous video, which I should have, is that contracts are law. Contracts are law because you sign them and you agree to them. And in a legal system, the law is the contract and the contract is the law. However, the legal system is supposed to conform to natural law, because when it doesn't, it compels a man to do something that is impossible, and man cannot be compelled to perform an impossibility. So what the government did so that it could act outside of the Constitution, was to create a middleman, such as the Federal Reserve Bank and various other instrumentalities, including the non-federal part of the IRS. They instituted them to make contracts with private people, because the federal government, by the Constitution, has no right to directly contract with non-federal people off federal lands. They only have a right to contract to do the things in the Constitution. And that's why you'll see that many of the titles, which are not positive, apply to the middlemen for making contracts with private citizens. Treaty is also then a contract, which is specifically mentioned in the Constitution. So if you're wondering what kinds of contracts the Constitution allows, one of them is treaty. One of them is not making contracts with private people off federal lands, because they were only given authority on the federal lands, which are called places purchased and seat of government, in Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17.